first chance to speak one-on-one with a federal official about immigration operations in Texas. These so-called enhanced targeted operations run by ICE began about a week ago.
And KXAN's Brianna Hollis is joining us with what she's learned about this from the Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council, and that's the Union for Customs and Border Protection Agents.
Yes, I want to start with a quick explainer. ICE and Border Patrol do have the same detention power. They both operate under the Department of Homeland Security, but their day-to-day is a little different. But since ICE hasn't really answered our specific questions, we went with this route. I connected with the NBP Union Vice President Chris Cabrera. He hammered home the notion that ICE agents are only targeting serious criminals, but that doesn't mean, he says, there isn't, quote, collateral damage.
You know, the unfortunate consequence of some of this is if you're a bad guy with a criminal record and you know who you are and you're hiding at your grandma's house and she's not legal, I mean, we can't overlook that, you know. If it's collateral damage. It's unfortunate that she'd have to go, but if you know you're wanted, obviously don't put yourself around those people because you're going to get them caught up in your nonsense.
Is there any discretion that federal officials have in a moment like that to not detain grandma in that example?
Well, you know, I mean, the law is the law.
Cabrera added the only way right now that someone would get detained by ICE without some sort of criminal warrant would be that example or without committing a new crime. And the agency is not trying to track down folks without a criminal history. He also said federal agents will take it into account if someone has taken steps to obtain citizenship.
There's different scenarios, you know, if they're in the process, if they're almost complete with the process, or they haven't even started it, or they're not even, you know, trying to. If they've been in here for 25 years and, you know, haven't lifted a finger to make things right, or if, you know, they're happen to be married with children and, you know, in the process of getting their paperwork fixed. I mean, it varies from individual to individual. It could be, you know, from one extreme to the other.
As for what appeared to be potential ICE holding facilities in Pflugerville and Taylor, Cabrera didn't know any specifics there, but he did confirm ICE is holding detainees at federal facilities across the state. He says ICE is in charge of deciding which kinds of criminal warrants to pursue. He says he doesn't know of any, quote, hard lines when it comes to those decisions, but some examples he gave us of crimes that could land someone on that list: any violent felonies, crimes against women or children, and drug trafficking. And he compared that to things like misdemeanor theft charges, which he says ICE agents are likely not prioritizing at the moment. Jen, Daniel.